She walked into a luxury store just like anyone else, quiet, polite, and curious. But because she was black, the staff assumed she didn't belong. She was publicly humiliated, mocked, watched like a thief. What they didn't know, she was the daughter of the billionaire who owned the entire company. And he had just walked in. This is the story of how a young black woman exposed deep-rooted prejudice inside one of the country's most luxurious retail chains. It's a story of power, karma, and the moment a billionaire father revealed the truth in front of everyone. If you think you know how this ends, you don't. Because when justice hits this hard, the whole world watches. It was just a regular afternoon at West and Pine, a luxury retail boutique nestled in the heart of Manhattan. The kind of place where diamond bracelets glimmer beneath glass, where cologne is spritzed like holy water, and where wealthy clientele are pampered with smiles, silk gloves, and champagne. The kind of place where judgments are made quickly, especially when someone doesn't fit the mold. And on that day, a young black woman walked through the doors. She wasn't dripping in designer logos. She wasn't flanked by bodyguards or carrying a $1,000 handbag. Her name was Amara. She wore her natural curls tied in a bun, jeans that had seen better days, and a backpack that looked more student than shopper. But what no one in that store knew was that Amara wasn't just anybody. She wasn't just another face walking in from the street. She was the daughter of the man who owned the entire chain of luxury stores, each one from Manhattan to Dubai. But she didn't announce it. She didn't walk in with a flourish, no name drops, no celebrity airs. Because Amara didn't believe in privilege being handed. She believed it should be earned. And she had a very specific reason for coming to this store undercover. Her father, Charles Westmoreland, a black billionaire who had built the empire from nothing, had received troubling whispers from loyal employees and anonymous letters from customers. Allegations that the store's staff, especially its assistant manager, a woman named Courtney, treated customers differently based on how they looked, especially black customers. Charles wanted to believe it wasn't true. He wanted to believe his brand, built on class, respect, and service, was above such ugliness. But he didn't want to investigate it through cameras or official channels. He wanted to see if the rot was real, and so did Amara. So she volunteered. Amara didn't want cameras or a press stunt. She just wanted to know if she walked in as herself, without the armor of her father's name, how would she be treated? The moment she stepped inside, she felt it. Not a word had been spoken, but she saw the way Courtney, slim, blonde, and icy in her designer heels, glanced at her from the counter. It wasn't curiosity. It was scrutiny. She just raised a perfectly sculpted brow and returned to her phone. Amara wandered in, slowly making her way through the boutique. She paused by a pair of heels. $2,400. She turned the tag over, studying it, not because of the price, but because she was genuinely interested. She wasn't shopping to impress anyone. She was shopping because she'd helped design the very shoe through her father's philanthropic fashion scholarship program. Still, Courtney approached her like she was about to pocket it. "Can I help you with something?" she said, her voice flat. Not warm, not friendly, defensive. Amara smiled. "Just browsing." Courtney nodded stiffly, then turned on her heel. Not a second later, she whispered to another associate, a younger girl with kind eyes who clearly looked uncomfortable. Courtney didn't know the security camera was recording, but it didn't matter, because every word that followed would soon explode far beyond those store walls. "I just don't want her lingering," Courtney hissed. "Watch her. Make sure she doesn't touch anything too long. We don't need another situation." The associate hesitated. "She's literally just looking. Yeah, well, people like her tend to look a little too closely at things they can't afford." Amara heard it. Every syllable. Her stomach twisted, not because she hadn't heard comments like that before, but because it still stung. It stung even more knowing that this woman worked for a company her father built with his bare hands. Amara didn't confront her, not yet. She moved to the counter, picked up a necklace, and politely asked to see it up close. Courtney looked her up and down. "That piece starts at $7,000, she said coolly. "You might want to try something more affordable. The fashion jewelry section is in the back." Amara's eyes narrowed. "But I like this one." Courtney didn't budge. "Look, sweetie, I'm trying to help you. Some of our customers have tried things, and I'm just not in the mood for trouble today." Amara was stunned. "Are you accusing me of something?" Courtney smirked. "Not accusing, just suggesting you shop somewhere a little more your speed." That was the moment another voice cut through the air, deep, powerful, calm, but laced with steel. "Is this how we speak to customers now, Courtney?" Heads turned, staff froze, and Courtney's entire face went pale. Because the man who had just walked in wasn't a customer. He wasn't a district manager. He was Charles Westmoreland, the founder and CEO, the billionaire, the man who paid her salary, and he wasn't smiling. Courtney stammered, "Mr. Westmoreland, I didn't know you were coming." "That much is clear," he replied. "Because if you had, I doubt you would have spoken to my daughter that way." Silence. Pure, stunned silence. The other staff members gasped. The young associate's hand flew to her mouth. Courtney's entire posture shifted, defensive, then pleading. "Your daughter." Amara nodded slowly, standing tall. "Yes. My name is Amara Westmoreland, and I came here today to see how your staff treats people who don't walk in dressed in head-to-toe designer." Charles stepped closer, his eyes fixed on Courtney. "I built this company for people of all backgrounds," he said. "I built it so that my own mother, who cleaned offices for 40 years, could walk in and feel respected. Not scrutinized. Not profiled. Not insulted." Courtney looked like she might cry. "Sir, I didn't mean—" "You did," Charles interrupted, "and it's on tape." She tried to salvage it. "Please, I've been loyal. I've worked here for 5 years." "And in 5 seconds, you just exposed who you really are." The silence that followed was heavier than before. No one moved. Charles turned to Amara. "Did she say anything else?" Amara hesitated. "She said people like me tend to look too closely at things we can't afford." The weight of the words hung in the air. Charles turned back to Courtney. "You're done here. Effective immediately. We don't tolerate racism. Not on the floor, not in the back office, not anywhere." Courtney burst out. "But you can't—" "I can," Charles said sharply, "and I just did." She stood frozen, shocked at how quickly the power had shifted. But the truth was, she had never had real power, only the illusion of it, fed by arrogance, prejudice, and a system that often looked the other way. But not today. Charles then addressed the rest of the staff. "If any of you feel the need to judge someone based on how they look, how they dress, or where they come from, this is not the place for you. This company is for those who understand dignity, humility, and respect. My daughter shouldn't have had to be outed as my daughter, to be treated like a human being. No one should." The younger associate nodded, tears forming in her eyes. Amara approached her and said quietly, "Thank you for standing there and saying something. I saw that." The girl smiled, relieved. Word of the incident spread like wildfire. Within hours, the security footage was anonymously leaked to social media. The confrontation, the comment, the reveal. It all became viral, sparking debates, praise, and deep reflection across the internet. Some said Amara set her up. Others said it was about time someone got caught in the act. But most people were moved. Moved by the courage it took to go undercover. Moved by the swiftness of the consequences. And moved by a father who didn't just protect his daughter, but upheld the very values his company claimed to represent. In the weeks that followed, Charles implemented mandatory bias and empathy training across every store location. So the next time someone walks through your doors, wherever those doors may be, remember this: respect doesn't come with a price tag. And dignity? That's not earned by status. It's owed to every human being, especially the ones you're quickest to judge. Amara didn't set out to go viral. She didn't want revenge. All she wanted was the truth, and she got it. Her story sparked a movement. Her father's actions reminded everyone what real leadership looks like. And the message? Loud and clear. Never judge someone by their appearance, because the person you're mocking might just own the building you're standing in. If this story moved you, share it. Let the world see what happens when power, dignity, and truth collide. Because the only thing stronger than prejudice is justice.